Hi there, Maria. Another set of essays from you. Great. Let's take a look at what you did. Okay, this is the bar chart with the bird flu casualties. Let's see what you said here. The given chart illustrates data on the number of bird flu casualties, careful with your spelling, around the globe. The data is provided by the WHO. The total number of bird flu occurrences was, not has been. Remember how we use the present perfect tense. It has some sort of relevance to the present. This does not, because it's clearly in the past and only in the past. So it was the lowest in the early 90s with 120,000 cases. Let me just check your data. In contrast, this number grew to 180,000 by year 2000. Thus showing a rapid increase in bird flu casualties. Again, careful with your spelling. Again, a problem with the tense. Remember, when we're talking just in the past, we use past simple. It's ideally the tense you would use here, but there's absolutely zero reason to use present perfect. Okay, let's keep going. Also, grown up is incorrect. Grown up means that somebody matured. He grew up to be an actor, but what you want here is grew. It's plain, okay? So, while in years 1992 to 1995, the trend experienced a moderate growth, in 1997, the number of bird flu cases suddenly jumped to 180,000. Such trend has not significantly fluctuated. Okay, I don't know why you use such here, but you can then say this trend did not significantly fluctuate and remained stable till year 2000. To sum up, the given figure shows steep but slightly oscillating curve, shows a steep but slightly oscillating curve reflecting the increased cases of bird flu. All right, I don't understand why you've chosen the word oscillating here. It doesn't seem to fit. This seems really rather short to me without doing a word count. It does seem like it's under length. I feel like the reason why you wrote out all of these numbers was to increase your word count. It doesn't really help your case. It might increase your word count, but it doesn't make your answer any more developed. So let's see what kinds of things you could have included here. Okay, so what basically happened here is you really oversimplified this data, okay? There were many things that you could have said. So you could have said, first of all, I can't really tell by the image that I have here that I found online, but you could say that it remained stable and then it increased by, what is that, like about 15,000. It continued this rather gradual increase. Okay, so for 2 years it was stable, and then it increased by 15,000. Then the following year, okay, I can't tell what year that is again from the image, but you could say that it began a more rapid increase. So these increases did not occur every 2 years, but instead each year, where the bird flu casualties increased by, I can't really tell from what I'm looking at here, but it looks like maybe around 10,000, all right, over these 3 years. And then you could say that for the next 4 years, the number stabilized at its peak of approximately, let's see, what's that number? It looks like it's around 175,000. Okay, I wouldn't even mention any sort of oscillation. Maybe you could just say that there was a negligible decrease in the second to last year. I can't tell again what year that is, but you could have said that if you really wanted to. All right, but what you really needed to do was a little more extension here. Okay, now let's take a look at your task 2. Should employees stay at the same job? Should they switch at least once? Let's see what you had to say about this. Okay, while some people believe that having a single job throughout a lifetime, well, not throughout a lifetime, it's not like we have many lifetimes, but instead you should say throughout their lifetime, is an optimal career advancement. Okay, I don't know about the word advancement. Maybe trajectory would be a good word. Career path might be a good word. I don't know about this advancement. I think it carries a different meaning here. Others claim that radical alterations in one's career path is of a great advantage nowadays. In my opinion, a career switch is one of the most exciting trends of the modern working culture. Okay, so you're missing some articles here, but other than that, it's fine. Ample research has shown that with increased technological advancement, multiple individuals have gotten opportunity to change their career paths. Okay, let's see. Not multiple individuals. You're limiting it too much with a word like this, but you could just say many individuals have an opportunity to change their career paths. Now, you don't want to say the latter because there's a very specific way we use the former and the latter. So, for example, if you had said, John and Tom are two brothers, the former is 10 and the latter is 15. Okay, that's how you could do that. But here in this context, this structure does not work. So this is due to the available online courses, not the available, but this is due to available online courses that allow, I don't know about this word, upskill, or learn a new skill from scratch, not a scratch, but from scratch is the expression. The studies have shown that people, and again, not the studies, because you're not speaking to, so you're not referring to studies that you have already addressed and you're just referring to them again. This is the first time you're mentioning these studies. So what you really want to say here is studies have shown that people who took an action in order to change their career completely are very likely to be satisfied with their new positions. For instance, as increasing numbers of businesses started relying on technology, more people have decided to enroll in online programming courses to educate themselves and fill positions in demand. Okay, now I'm not 100% certain that this example here supports this argument. You're saying that they're very satisfied with their new positions. There is nothing in your example that supports that they are satisfied. You're just saying that they fill positions that are in demand, but there's nothing in your example that supports the idea that they're actually satisfied in these positions. Okay, so you have to make sure that these fit a little more carefully together. Next paragraph. Automation and optimization of the workforce, which is likely to occur in the near future, will be another reason for individuals to change their careers. As lots of currently existing jobs will soon disappear, changing a career path will become a necessity rather than a choice. This can be illustrated by a reduction of the workforce in airport customs, where humans have been replaced by a passport scanning machine coupled with a camera. Okay. Let's see. All right. I have to think about this for a second. I'm not 100% sure that I agree with this paragraph. I know what you're saying, but I think the way you've argued it doesn't necessarily come off as being on topic. They're saying that you should switch jobs by choice, not necessarily because you're being pushed out of a job due to automation. Okay, so I'm not really quite sure that this was the right way to develop this paragraph. Let's see if there was a way you could have done it. Okay, I read the paragraph again, and the way it is, and now I'm even more certain because you even said here it becomes a necessity rather than a choice. That's not what they're really saying here. What you could have done, though, which would have brought it back on topic, is if you had said, for example, if these people who are pushed out of their job due to automation have skills from another career change or another field that they can turn to, then becoming redundant in a job taken over by computers will not leave them jobless, as they have skill sets in another sector that can therefore absorb them in the case that they lose their job. Something like that would have worked, okay? But the way it's framed right here, it is not really on topic 100%. All right, let's move on. Finally, I'm convinced that a personal career success, no. Finally, I am convinced that the personal career success of an individual lies in taking responsibility for his or her future. Given the present digital era, people who have the courage to re-educate themselves will enjoy all the perks and benefits of the emerging technology-related industry. All right, that's fine. I like your last paragraph. So the problem for me with this essay is the wrong support, okay? And what happens when you have the wrong support is it could affect possibly two criteria. It could affect task achievement, but also coherence and cohesion, because there's not a logical progression of arguments. That's what happened here. But here as well, it fell off topic, so that would definitely affect your task achievement score. Okay, the other thing that's happening is that although a lot of your grammar is very good, you have a weakness with your articles. There's lots of mistakes with your articles, and I know that they're confusing, but it's consistently a problem throughout this essay. I found myself correcting a lot of them. So do revise rules on articles, and if you need some help on finding materials, we can certainly help you with that. All right, but other than that, it's a fine job. All right, so some good vocabulary. Overall, the structure of it was fine other than those areas that I mentioned. Linking devices were fine. And most of the grammar, apart from the articles, was fine as well. All right, so go ahead and correct these, return them, add to your error correction list, and send us your next set. Okay, good job. Keep on working, and I'll be waiting for your next set.